Hello, good evening. And today, the scripture that I'm going to go over is Romans 8:28. And it states, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." So I'll read it one more time. "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." So basically, what this one means is, when I read the paragraph about this, is that there's some who have been called. It's just a saying, that there's a certain calling for certain people, for them to to glorify the Lord, and so they have to live according to the Lord's purpose. So, in order to they have a purpose in life, in order to glorify the Lord, basically. So they're basically serving the Lord, or walking with the Lord, like being a vessel for the Lord. They just have open communication, with the Lord, and whatever that the Lord orders them to do, they do it, and they live by that. So they keep going, and to glorify the Lord in this world. So basically, what happens is we get put through what's called sufferings. And it sounds bad, in a sense, but the biblical sufferings is not bad. It's just, it could be physical or emotional, like pain, we all have that, all the time or whatever, but it's sort of like we get put through certain things that may cause us pain, but usually those things that we get put through, is the purpose is to strengthen us, is to, so that we can learn something from it, so that, yeah, basically it's a healing. Pain is not really that bad, pain, because once we get put through pain and then we heal, what happens? We get stronger. We don't get weaker, we get stronger. And so we learn from that as well. For some reason, that's just how it works out every time. We just get stronger after we go through either emotional pain or physical pain. We just have to get through it. That's the hard part, is it's kind of getting through it, the resistance that we get to. But we have to heal. We're going to have to heal eventually, right? We can't live our life just, in pain. We're not going to want to go through that. We're only going to, want to be put through that for so long. So we're going to constantly, while we're in that pain, we're going to constantly try to figure out, how do I get through this? How am I going to stop this from happening? How am I going to heal? And eventually it's going to happen, because if we keep looking long enough and praying and all that, and it's going to happen. We're going to come up with something, eventually. So therefore, in the end, it will strengthen us. And now there's a multitude of ways, on how a certain pain will strengthen you. And so each person will have a certain purpose to their pain, but that all depends on the individual. And you eventually will know how how the Lord wants to be glorified through you. So you will know once you've been called, you know. So all this does is, it's again strengthens us. So during the suffering, another thing is we have to be patient. We have to be patient as we go through it. You know, we have to go through it, because you'll see. I'm kind of, you know, going through a little bit of this right now. And so I feel so far within like a year, you know, I feel so much stronger. I feel way different than how I was just a good year ago, you know, and I just feel it within myself. So much more confidence, just so much more within me. I mean, people that, you know, I've run into that, you know, recently that grew up with me and stuff, like they're just like, wow, you know, what happened, you know? And I'm like, well, I'm here, I'm, you know, living to glorify the Lord. So, you know, and I'm going through some healing right now. So it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling, you know, and you know within yourself, you know, that you are healing and that you're feeling great and all that and stuff like that, you know, when you're been strengthened in certain areas. So I'm going to read it one more time. And it says, it's Romans 8:28. And it says, and we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. All right. You guys have a good evening, and God bless. Good night. Bye.